What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here. Welcome back to Central North Carolina. Today, we've got some drama in the lawn. We're gonna jump into this quick Friday video. I just quickly got my mow done. We've got rain coming in. Looks like it may rain for a day and a half or so, possibly tomorrow as well. So grass was getting about 4 inches. We cut behind me, we cut it about 3.5 inches, or yeah, 3.5 inches. Did our standard quick up and down with no trimming. Just got done blowing it off. And now I want to show you guys something I discovered while mowing. I knew this video was coming, but it's here and we got to tackle it, and you need to be prepared. More for people in Central North Carolina and maybe Southern Virginia area. People up north, this won't apply to you yet, but it's coming, I believe. So really quick, the mow looks great, the color looks great, but we now got issues in the lawn, and I've noticed it in several spots. It's not just in the GCI turf type tall fescue over here. There is some actually of an issue back here in the Jonathan Green as well, but we're dealing with fungus. We're starting to see some discolorization, and I've started seeing it in multiple areas, and there you go right there. You can kind of see the tips of this blade. It looks like a rust on top of the blades of the grass. That's what we're talking about. And as we kind of zoom out, you can see this area. It's not a widespread thing yet, but it soon will be unless we start taking action. You can see right here we've got some brown green, and right here we've got some brown green happening. But everywhere else, if I come over here and look, you don't see that. The blades look more healthy, more green, no issues, no problems. Not to say that now that Mr. Ferguson just threw fungus-filled blades all over my lawn, this can spread, so we need to tackle it. So I've seen it here. I also want to show you, just so somebody's not like, Mr. Ferguson, that just happens. It could be those grubs you're talking about. No, this is clearly going to be a fungus type issue. You can see it here. Just the blades are like that orangey color. If we pull one out, I see one down here. You can see on the tip there. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about the fungus looking color. You see that oranginess on the blades right there, on the grass blades. That is fungus. And so what we want to do is, right now, I do not have my azoxystrobin yet. Here's another spot where I've seen it. This is more the Jonathan Green Dense Shade Mix. It's not due to the grass type. There's some more over here I've seen. You could really see it when the grass was a few inches longer. You could see it on the tips. We've cut that, and I didn't bag because I didn't really notice this. I did notice it the last mow, kind of up here on the left. I'll show you real fast. But I was like, well, maybe that's just something weird. Here you go. You got some more of it right here and over here. You see some more of it spreading throughout the lawn. Now, it's nothing to freak out. Here's a real good section to show you. So, hey, this is the most excitement I've had in my lawn in a while besides Poa-Triv. But right here, I can definitely tell, and hopefully you guys can too. This is just patch after patch of brown, green, all the way up these two strips right here. This is where I first noticed it, over here by the AC unit. So it's nothing to freak out about, but we do have fungus. So this goes back to, okay, we have fungus, we're not preventing. How does this happen, Mr. Ferguson? When should we be on the lookout for this? When our soil temperatures are rising, when we have lots of moisture, which we have had tons of rain each week up until, since all winter, we've had issues. We've had lots of moisture. We got rising air temperatures, and we've got rising soil temperatures. That is the combination for fungus spores in our lawn. So it's nothing to freak out about, but if you ignore this and you just keep cutting your grass and you're not bagging it, like now, I need to bag, to be honest with you. I should have bagged it today if I would have caught it before mowing, but I'm in a hurry. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to treat this with a fungicide. It can spread, it can get all over our lawn. And so the purpose of a fungicide, applying that fungicide, is to stop it in its tracks from extending, from growing, from spreading. It is not going to automatically, a fungicide like what we're working with over here, a fungicide like propiconazole, this is what I have on hand, and this is all I've got on hand. So it's going to have to hopefully stop it. I hope the propiconazole works for me today with what I have on hand. So stock up. Don't be like me. Prepare. I've got links for propiconazole, azoxystrobin. Those have been proven to be the best for a fescue lawn, at least by NC State. I've heard it multiple times from them. That's another video for another day. But just know when we apply this, well, do I want to water it in or do I want to let it dry on the blades? What do I do? Well, you got to read the label. Let's figure out how much, and I believe it's 1 ounce per 1,000 if you have enough. Now, I'm just going to use all of this and spread it evenly in my lawn because I don't want to just spot spray. You can miss areas and it spreads in that area. You want a blanket spray. You want to actually get this down. If you're up north, you want to get this down and prevent this if you can. I've fallen behind. I thought we had more time. Clearly we do not. So now that it's in my lawn, I can visually see it over here in my lawn. We need to attack it, stop it where it is. So applying this and letting it dry on the blade, or using something like Pete's Natural Adjuvant, which I've got, which we're not going to do this on camera. I just don't have the time, and I apologize for that. If you're interested, we can do another video. Pete's Natural Adjuvant not only helps the cell walls of the plant, it opens up the cell walls of the plant to receive the treated application, in this case fungicide. So the natural adjuvant is going to help me use the minimal amount of fungicide, which I have only a minimum amount right now. So the natural adjuvant is going to help me to apply the minimum amount and be just as effective by opening it up and receiving it immediately when it hits the ground. So it is going to rain today, but I'm going to put this on. I'm not going to water it in. The fungicide will coat the blades of the leaf, and it's going to begin to stop the fungus. The blades will not just turn green. And so if you keep coming out every day, did my fungicide work? It's still brown looking. It's still patchy looking. What's wrong? It didn't work. You got to be patient with fungicides. It's stopping the spread. And then if you want to mix in just a hair of nitrogen, I've already got slow release flagship. We've already put down 20-00 GCI turf. I'm not going to do nitrogen right now, but just a smidgen. We're not talking about a full-blown application, but just a little bit of nitrogen to help get that fungicide flowing and get that grass growing just a hair, which spring will handle that as well. You don't have to do this, but NC State recommended for dollar spot and other things. It helps to start pushing growth, and that fungicide will grow out to the top. And as you mow several times, you'll notice that patch will turn back green, but it's going to have to grow out, cut, grow out, cut, and then eventually you're going to have green grass in that spot again. That's how fungus and fungicides work. So the other thing I'm going to be doing, if you didn't catch it, got my sprayer over here. It is time for me doing a split app to do my second application of Prodiamine 65 WDG. Remember last time we did this, we did not water it in. We've got rain today, 100% chance, so likely this one will get watered in. I really don't care if it does or don't. It's our experiment. We did not water in our first app just to do an experiment. If you put down Prodiamine, if you're putting down a pre-emergent to stop crabgrass in your lawn this spring and into summer, you want to water in your Prodiamine. Please don't do what I'm doing. I'm just doing this. We did that as a test. So far, I have seen no crabgrass pop up in my lawn, and I have not overseeded my lawn. In the front lawn over a year. In my back lawn, it's been going on almost 3 years. And so I do not have any crabgrass. So whether it's the thick turf, whether it's the Prodiamine, I would like to think it's the pre-emergent that's helping me keep out the crabgrass and the weeds in my lawn. Not to say one don't pop up every now and then. So mixed in with this Prodiamine, I'm going to throw in Prodiamine and propiconazole at the same time. I'm doing a spray. The rain is coming. I'm just going to mix them in and just go at it with the natural adjuvant. We're going to mix that in and do an even spray. So that is what I'm doing on this Friday. I wanted to quickly get this out to you. Ground temperature warming, air temperatures warning, lots of moisture. Go out. If you have not walked your lawn, you've been getting a lot of rain, I would advise you. If I'm seeing it here in central North Carolina, I bet you Mr. Kevin's seeing it. I bet you Mr. Blake may be seeing it, and everybody is. Now, doesn't necessarily mean because my lawn is, your lawn is, but go walk your lawn, check it out, pay attention when you're mowing. And again, if you see spots before you mow, I would advise you to be smarter than me. Walk your lawn before you mow. If you're seeing spots like what I just showed you, where the tips are looking dingy, they're looking rusty, they're looking like, what is that? Well, we're in the season of fungus. It's time to start preventing. Remember, if we're going to do prevention, if you don't see it, and now you're going to apply your fungicide, like azoxy and propiconazole is highly recommended as prevention, you don't have to water. You can water that in, when we see it on the blades, we want to let it sit and attack. When we are preventing, we want to water it in if we can, if we have the time to do that. and azoxy and propiconazole are the best to handle that. But they'll last 21 days. So before the 21-day mark, you want to reapply to keep your coverage intact. If we break that barrier, you can end up with this again. So now that I've seen this, we're deep, we're into the fungicide season for several months now. So I've got to order some more products. I'm going to have to do that today. I need more propiconazole, and I'm going to order azoxystrobin. If you guys that have been watching, remember we used Armada last year. It is similar to azoxystrobin. It's in the same group of fungicides, I do believe, but it's time to start paying attention. Now that we have visual evidence, we don't want this to get worse. So we are going on attack mode with propiconazole. Hopefully I've got enough to stop the spread of what I'm seeing now, and then I'll have to reapply and adjust in the days to come. And if I see it getting worse and worse and worse in the next week or so, I know that this application wasn't sufficient to stop it in its tracks, and we're going to have to go at it again. So fungus, we got fungus in the lawn. We're taking care of it with some fungicide here, and we're going to go ahead and knock out our split app of Prodiamine. And just for those that have not, I will try to link it. Check out my pre-emergent guide. I've got a guide. If you go to the start of my page on the home screen, I've got pre-emergent guide. Go there. You can see all the past videos I've done on Prodiamine. I write my split app rates down. I'm doing 0.32 for 4,000 square feet. I do 8,000 square feet in this backpack sprayer, so I'm going to double this number, or basically fill up this cup at 0.732 ounces twice. Dump that in, as well as my fungicide, go at it, and then if it rains, it rains. If it don't, we'll be fine. I would feel better after this application is done. So sorry it's not the most detailed and exciting video of showing you guys all of this, but again, go back, check my pre-emergent videos. If you are saying, man, I forgot all about my second application of Prodiamine, I need to do that. If you didn't do the first application of Prodiamine, it's not too late. I would recommend getting some. We'll have links to Prodiamine below. You can click on it. It's not this big. It's a very small 5 ounce, I think, bottle. And as you see, we're using under an ounce. This is 0.732 per 4,000 square feet. It's a very minimal amount of product that we're using here. So you can buy a little 5 ounce bottle for almost nothing, for 20 bucks or less maybe, and you can do your lawn, prevent crabgrass in your lawn. You have missed the window to catch it early, so you may be seeing crabgrass now, but as more begins to populate, you may be able to catch some of that and prevent it if you do this application now. Let the rain water it in, or you'll want to water that in. It is not the action-packed music and me spraying. I think you get that. The lawn's looking great, but now we got to deal with this. So we got a little bit of fungus in the lawn. We'll give you an update as we go along with this and see how much do I got in here, and did it make a difference, and when we need to reapply the real powerful ingredient of azoxy and propiconazole. Enjoy watching the Masters. I'm excited. Go Scotty Scheffler. I think he's going to win it. Just for the record, if I'm wrong, you can dog me later on for 2024 Masters champion Scotty Scheffler. But anyways, he's a Christian. I like that guy. He's an awesome golfer. God bless you. We'll see you next time.